Have you ever eaten a kebab after a night out? Did you think it would be a good idea and then realise the morning after meat sweats are almost as bad as the hangover? Have you ever wondered if there could be another way? Since being in Berlin, sure, I have sampled the late night kebab. But it was so delicious that it made me realise that the kebab doesn't just have to be a drunken snack or a bad decision. Berlin is home to more than 4,000 kebab shops, and in Germany more than 2 million kebabs are eaten every single day. The numbers speak for themselves. The kebabs here are delicious. Although I couldn't try all of them, I have filmed a guide to 3 of my favourite kebabs. Enjoy! The first place that I went to was Rüyam Gemüse Kebabs.
I think I might get like sandwiches.
Not one, but 2 of my friends told me that this place was the best place for kebabs in Berlin. To be honest, yeah, it did not disappoint. The vibes in there were really good. There was loud music. All of the staff seemed to really be enjoying themselves, and the kebab was absolutely incredible. So, let's go!
Hi, einmal Gemüse Kebab bitte. Ja.
Check out the delicious meat.
I'm loving the look of the sauce.
Yeah.
I can see herbs chopped up in it.
Yeah.
Is that feta? Oh, I can't lie, I don't like feta, but I'll get it.
Oh no.
I do kind of respect that on the menu though, it just says Gemüse Kebab, it doesn't say it's got this, because then there's already a really long queue, and then people be being like, oh, I don't like feta,
Yeah.
I don't want this, I don't
Exactly.
want that.
They just expect you to take everything.
Yeah, they're like, we know how to make a good kebab, we're going to give you a good kebab and you're going to enjoy it.
I think sometimes as well it's less stressful if there's less choice. There's no baggage.
The feta is not too feta-y. I don't like feta because it tastes like feet, but this is just salty and creamy.
Yeah.
It's not giving foot, we're good. Decided the technique is to eat some of the food out of the bread before picking it up, otherwise it's going everywhere, and I do not want to lose any of my kebab.
I'm gonna try it and go in for the bite. And it has roasted vegetables inside. If you can see, it has your 5 a day in it.
Strips of carrot and things in there. Aubergine in there as well. A mixture of raw salad veg and roasted veg. Hence why it's called Gemüse Kebab. Oh my god, the meat is so golden.
I think it's chicken here, and then other kebab places are beef.
There's a lot of chicken and beef action in Berlin.
I think it's because Berlin has such a huge like Turkish and Arab population. Also, UK kebabs just have nothing on German kebabs. The meat they use is absolutely minging.
We didn't know if we wanted to get the durum, like a wrap, or if we wanted to get this bread. And I'm so glad we got this bread. It's soft, it's fluffy, it's got seeds on it.
I think they put it under a grill as well. I think that's what the girl was doing.
It feels slightly warm, and you can see the grill marks there as well. And it's kind of perfect holding size. It fits like a hamster or something.
That's a big hamster.
It's actually
What would you rate this kebab?
I'm not allowed to give a 10 because the world's best kebab is always just around the corner and you've got to leave some hope in your heart for these things. It's actually perfect. I think it's perfect. But I am going to give it a 9.
The second place that I tried was Nefis Gemüse Kebab. By the way, Gemüse in German means vegetables, so if the kebab shop you're at has Gemüse kebab, then it's going to contain roasted vegetables. And that's kind of what makes the kebabs in Berlin so different to the kebabs at home in the UK. I
got a Gemüse kebab again. Can you see the potatoes? I love how filling potato in bread makes a meal feel. And it's nice that they're not chips. It doesn't feel like greasy potato. They still have their skins on. They taste potatoey. There's some roasted carrot. The vegetables just make it acceptable for it to be a Saturday lunchtime and for me to be having a kebab. I don't feel dirty. Also cheese. It looks like feta. I don't like feta. I'm gonna taste the cheese by itself and I might have to pick it off if I don't want to eat it all. It's sour like feta, but without, I just think feta tastes like feet, without the footish aftertaste. And it's creamy. Oh, it's really good. Okay, never mind, I don't need to pick it off. Love the cheese. He had 3 sauces, yogurt, spicy and garlic. The yogurt sauce is really good. I can taste a lot of dill. I like how herby it is. The garlic sauce is unsettlingly green. It's tasty. I don't know what would make it that green. Look how caramelized the meat is. The meat here is chicken and it's really flavoursome. It's really, really tasty. I watched him put dressing on the salad and I think the dressing is too vinegary. It's a shame because it's quite an overpowering flavour. Oh, that was a vinegary bite. The bread feels warm and it's got the seeds. I can actually taste the sesame flavour from the sesame seeds in the bread. Perfect to hand size, and the bread has a really good crunch on the outside, but it's still soft in the middle. So I've eaten out enough of the filling with my fork that I can now manage a bite. Oh yeah, that was a great bite. You know it's a great bite because it took me about 3 minutes to finish it, but I had everything. I had bread, I had veg, I had sauce, I had meat. It has a really layered flavour profile. It's just comparative to a really good sandwich spot. Do you see what I mean? It's literally giving sandwich. Look, sandwich. That's another thing I like about the kebabs here, is they're manageable to eat. That's really important. Even if flavour-wise you're having a nice experience, if you're having a less nice experience because you're spilling it all over yourself or it's really hard to pick up, then that's minus points. I will say, I don't think it's hot enough, temperature hot enough. I want the meat to be warmer, but it tastes really good. I think this kebab, it is really, really good compared to a kebab in the UK, but as Berlin kebabs go, I've had better executed versions.
The third place that I went to was called Imren Grill. Upon reflection, this is just a completely different kettle of fish to the first 2 kebabs. The first difference was the difference in the vibes of the place. Imren doesn't just exist to make kebabs. There are soups, there are stews, all sorts of hearty food that they serve all day long. They have 6 locations, but the one I went to was in Kreuzberg, just off of Cottbusser Dam. This area is known as Little Istanbul because it has such a large Turkish population, and I think that this might be the reason for the second difference. The second difference was how this kebab tasted. I'm not an expert on kebabs, but from what research I've done, it seems that a German style kebab, all of the elements are important, the vegetables, the bread, the sauce, the meat, the cheese, whereas the Turkish kebab is much more meat focused. Basically, the kebab came to Germany from Turkey in the 1960s, 1970s. There was a system of Gastarbeiter or guest workers where Germany invited people to work in German industry from various different countries because they needed help for their economy, and one of those countries was Turkey, and so the Turkish immigrants brought with them this kebab. I think the kebab in Turkey originated as a very meat-focused dish, and then since being brought to Germany, the kebab has evolved into something new, and that's less meat-focused. And when I was eating the kebab from Imren, it was meat-focused. I did some more research afterwards because the meat tasted so unique, and they use beef meat and cook it in lamb fat. Anyway, let's go and see how the kebab at Imren tasted. I just went to Imren. I always walk past and it is always so busy. It feels like a canteen. Real people are just going there for their lunch, and they don't just do kebabs, they do all these cooked dishes, and they have plates and trays, and it really feels like a school canteen. And I wanted to sit in there, but it was loud because it's so popular, and so I'm gonna park instead so that I can talk to you about my kebab. This time I went for durum, and this is good, especially because I took it away. Look at this, I mean, it's giving burrito, so hopefully I'll be able to manage it and not make too much of a mess, although I did bring a napkin as well. Oh, and I'm actually really excited about the durum bread. This looks good. The bread is good, floury, which makes it feel like it's fresh. It's not just a rubbish tortilla from a supermarket. It's a proper flat bread. It's very salty, but the meat is really well spiced, and I'm getting a lot of cumin. It tastes very different to the other ones actually, because of how spiced the meat is. I don't think it's chicken like the other two places. It's a lot browner. Ah, lamb. I find lamb quite meaty, and I think that's what I'm getting. An observation that I've had about meat in the other places is that every piece of kebab meat, it's like if kebab meat were bacon. What makes bacon good was that it's so thin and crispy, and it's the way they cook the meat in other kebab shops that makes it crispy and so full of flavour. And here, that's not going on. It's the spices that lend it the flavour. Look at the sauce dripping. This sounds silly, but the yogurt sauce is really yogurty. It does not taste like it's come out of a bottle. It tastes like fresh yogurt. Another thing, it's taken me a while to realise because I was so hungry, but this isn't a Gemüse kebab with all of the roasted vegetables like the other ones. This is just their döner meat with salad sauce and bread. And the vibe I was getting, I think the other places are kind of just frequented by anyone and everyone that wants a kebab, whereas that, it had a real community vibe in there. That was really good, but I don't feel quite as nourished as I felt after the Gemüse kebabs. It felt less like a balanced meal.
I had a lot of treacherous experiences, but you know, losing my tooth.